Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. Sales slumps are tough to navigate, especially with the changing market conditions and tighter budgets out there, right? But the good news is that they are not permanent. Here to walk us through getting out of a sales slump, which we've all been in from one time or another, is the one and only Matt Easton, sales coach and founder of Easton University. You've seen him here before on our show, so thank you, Matt, for joining us once again. Who hasn't been in a sales slump? I mean, come on. If you've been in sales for any longer than a week, you're going to find yourself in a slump every now and then, right?
Jim, can you see my face? This is how most salespeople feel right now. But on the outside, right, we're smiling. We got our yellow jackets on.
That's right.
We're happy to help people. But on the inside, it's not good. And I get it. If you're in a slump, I'm in slumps. Jim gets in slumps.
That's right.
We all get in slumps, right? So, Jim, I'm going to ask you a quick question, okay?
Yep.
I printed it out here. What does it feel like to be in a slump? I realize, Jim, you're an all-pro, okay? You never have a slump, but let's say you did, which you probably do. What does that feel like, Jim, when we're in a slump?
It feels terrible. It challenges your confidence. You feel like maybe your best years or your best days are behind you. You wonder if it's just a temporary slump, or maybe you've lost your mojo here, right?
Yeah, maybe the world has changed. Maybe it's not the same thing. Maybe you got to figure out a hot dog stand to open somewhere. What do we worry about? What do we worry about, Jim, when we're in a slump? Like back when you were in slumps, I can tell you what I worry about, but I'm curious to get your opinion. What did you worry about when you were in sales and you were in a slump?
Well, the obvious, and that is the boss. You know, the boss is looking at you sideways going, hey, where are the deals? Where are the sales? What happened?
Yeah, it kind of takes the fun out of sales, right? Laying in bed at night going, am I going to get fired? I remember Googling, right? What's the day that, by the way, it's Friday, if you guys want to know. Friday's the more common day to get fired because it gives you 2 days to cool off so you don't come into the office and yell at everybody.
There you go.
Right. So that you worry about the same thing I worry about that everybody else. I'm going to get fired.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to feed my kids. I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the real question, Jim. For you, I can answer a definitive no, but I'm curious to get your opinion. Did worrying ever help the situation?
It absolutely does not help the situation. And in fact, it makes the slump even longer, does it not?
I agree with you 100%. All right, so that's enough negative talk, okay? What does it feel like when we get out of that slump, right? When our numbers start to go back up?
There's nothing better. There's
nothing better. It feels great.
Feel like you're on top of the world.
Yes, and if you want to invest some money, Jim, I am happy to be an investor. We need to come up with a therapy company for salespeople, right?
That's right.
Because we are the highest of the highs. Yay, you're getting a new bike, kids. And the lowest of the lows. We need to go look for a different house and maybe a tent because dad's not making. We got to stop this because this is what happens, right? I think I charted out either my heart or my sales performance in the past. It's like a Morgan Wallen song.
That's
up, down, up, down, up, down, right?
Yep.
Hopefully we're not drinking because we're so stressed out too. Apparently Morgan Wallen does a lot of that because I've heard the song Up, Down. But this is the kind of stuff that happens. So right here, right now, Jim, let's fix this. Let's fix these slumps. But then more importantly, let's get people to, this is the line I would like, okay? I'm not into this and this and this. Easton University is not, anybody can go real high straight up and discount, give stuff away and burn through all their relationships and get up for a month. What I want is everybody to do this, right? Like a plane taking off out of the ATL there, Jim. Just a nice steady climb, a smooth flight, no bumps, no nothing. How do we get this smooth? All right. So I've got a few ideas I want to share with the group. Okay. How do we get out of this sales slump and how do we continue to climb? How do we continue to have things? First thing, you're going to think I'm crazy here. Set bigger goals. Jim, I know this is counterintuitive to you. Hi, not you, Jim. Them. Yes, you. You're in a slump. You're like, why the hell would I want to set a bigger goal? Right. I already can't meet the goal that I'm having.
Right.
Here's the problem that I found. Is when we have a smaller goal or we have the goal that our management set, a lot of times that's not enough to get us motivated. And we do just enough to be in a slump. And it's amazing if you take some time and meditate, ruminate, whatever, do your mantras and figure out what could I do differently? What could be a bigger goal for me? Suddenly your activity starts to go up because your goal is not just to keep your job. Your goal is to truly have the life you want to enjoy. So number one, set a bigger goal. Okay. Number two, and Jim, you're going to laugh because you and I have been through this. I've tried to recruit some people to the Easton University lifestyle. Have a clear plan of action for each day. I'm going to say this again because it's real. Hi, you in a slump. A clear plan of action is not worrying. A clear plan of action is not getting your resume out there. A clear plan of action is not talking smack about your boss to everybody else that works there, trying to bring them down. A clear plan of action, there's mine, right? Daily goal sheets. What are your goals? Write them down every morning. What are the activities that you have to do? I have to make X amount of prospecting calls. I'm going to make X amount of follow-up calls. Don't just say you're going to do it. Create an action plan. You can get my daily goal sheet at eastonuniversity.com/goals. It's free. You don't have to be a member.
There you go. We'll show the information on the screen right here.
Yeah, eastonuniversity.com/goals. You don't have to be a member. I want to help you. I've been where you're at. Okay, so we're going to have a clear plan of action. Now, I lay in bed at night thinking about this stuff so you guys don't have to. Here's the problem, and this is no other sales coaches talks about this, okay? You need to do the opposite of what people do in a slump. And here's what I mean by that. Here's the opposite of what you're doing in a slump. The opposite is I need you to focus 85% of your time prospecting and 15% of your time on follow-up. Here's the mistake that everybody makes. The more we get into a slump, we now spend 85% of our time following up, Jim.
Right. Because
I'm paranoid. I'm panicked. I got to close something by Friday because I heard that's the day that people get fired. So we follow up. Hey, I'm just checking in. I'm just bad, not skillful. I'm just following up and just seeing where we're at. We actually, boom, we blow those deals up because we're like that Bugs Bunny cartoon where they get the little pet and they squeeze it so much head pops off.
Yep.
Right? We're going to do our normal follow-up, but what I want you to do is double down, triple down, quadruple down on your prospecting. If you are in a slump, 80 period, point blank, no excuses. 85% of your time needs to be finding new deals.
Right.
You can still follow up on your pipeline. By the way, it ain't that great of a pipeline because you're in a slump with 15% of your time, okay?
But we gravitate to the pipeline because we think that's the lowest hanging fruit. That's the quickest sale, right? That's the one that all I need. I don't have to go through a whole pitch. I just have to get a yes from them, right?
Yes. Jim, our ego, our emotions lie to us. Yeah. This is why pilots need to learn to fly a plane. If you're going to get your IFR rating, they put a screen in front of your face so you can't see outside the window, and you just have to trust those instruments.
Yeah.
Just like a pilot, I need you to trust your instruments and go, we're not crashing. I'm going to focus on my prospecting. Right. Because if I focus on my follow-up, I may or may not, probably not going to get out of my slump. And if I do, I'm going to crash down to even a lower low the next month because I'm not filling the pipeline.
Yeah.
Okay. I realize I'm biased. I realize I'm the founder of a sales coaching company. You guys can say, he's just saying this because he wants his business to grow. It's not so, but you make your own decision. The next thing you have to do is you need to train and get practice every single day. Yeah. I want you to think about a professional athlete. Kobe Bryant, when he was a rookie, he was in, I think it was the finals. It was his first time as a rookie. He missed 3 shots in a row, okay? They're out. They're out of the finals. And he was down in the dumps on the benches with his head. And the news reporter's like, oh, my gosh, you must feel bad. He's like, feel bad? No. He's like, I was thinking about what I need to do differently so this doesn't happen next season. My legs ran out of gas. I'm going to work on my cardio. I'm also going to work on my 3-point shots. I'm also going to work at being able to release the ball. He trained every single day. And the next season, none of those mistakes happened. You guys have to, and this is the last thing you want to do when you're in a slump, carve out 5 minutes. Please, you can give me more than 5. But if you can't, give me 5. Give me 10. Give me just 15 minutes of you thinking about how can I get better? How can I improve?
Right.
Doing some sales coaching, if it's not me, go find a book that resonates with you or something. But when you're down in the dumps, you have to train. That's like asking a professional athlete to start winning games. Oh, and by the way, don't show up to practice. It doesn't make sense.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Here's another one. Just hold on. Let me take a sip. Sorry, I'm with Jim. I got to take a sip. Stopping to take pictures. I realize when we close the deal, we're not literally grabbing our phones and taking a selfie. But what are we doing? When we're in a slump and a deal closes, what happens? You started that day working real hard.
Yeah.
You started that day really motivated. You did the right stuff to close a deal, and then all of a sudden you get a deal closed. You call your spouse, you call your friends. You're like, hey, anybody want to go get a smoothie or some Starbucks or something like that?
That's right.
Wrong thing to freaking do. Once you get momentum going, do not stop to take pictures.
Yep.
You are in a slump, okay? Keep calling. When you close that deal, you're going to, I don't know what it is. There's a magic about you. You need to leverage that magic. In the NBA, when a shooter is hot, what do? They keep throwing that shooter the rock.
That's right.
And until they stop sinking three-pointers, they're going to continue to get the frickin' ball. You don't know how long this streak can go, so don't stop to take pictures.
Totally
all right?
agree. Yep.
Here is something else that you're not doing right now if you're in a slump. Hi, by the way, did we just, you and I, not Jim. Jim and I are already friends. Did you and I just become best friends? Yes. Okay. I got your back as your new best friend. You need to set effort-based, not outcome-based expectations if you are in a slump. And again, this is where our brain plays tricks on us. We set outcome-based expectations when our careers, I got to close 5 deals this month. I better make quota. God, I need to get from $10,000 a month and $20,000 to $20,000. Those are all outcome-based expectations.
Mm-hmm.
They do not belong anywhere near you in a slump. You need to have effort-based expectations. I'm going to make 100 dials. I am not going to go home until I've at least made 100 calls, or if 3 deals close, sure, I'll let myself go home.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have all of my expectations be around my effort, because I have to trick my brain, okay? And I can control what? I can control my effort. I can't control if a deal closes. I can't control if a hurricane comes and takes the power out. I can't control the economy. I can't control the Fed and interest rates. Gosh darn it, guys, you can control your effort. And when you're in a slump and you set effort-driven expectations, you will find that you'll go to bed and you'll actually sleep really good because you accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish.
That's right.
Now, just know that the outcomes will come, but I don't want you to focus on them. Okay, last thing, the last tip that I have for you, set bigger goals. Wait a minute, that was his first tip. It's also my last tip. Here's why. The first reason I brought it up was you're going to be motivated more if your goals are bigger. The second reason why I'm bringing this up, and I'm just giving you a story right out of my personal life, Jim's probably had this happen too. When you set bigger goals, monster goals, your brain tends to think outside the box.
Right.
Like if I told you, Jim, hey, you got it. Like if we went out to your studios right now in the parking lot, and I was like, you got to get from one end of the parking lot to the other end of the parking lot. You are going to run as fast as you can, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to go as fast as you can run. But if I said, Jim, you have to get to Peachtree Corners outside of Atlanta, Georgia in the fastest amount of time, you're going to think different. You're going to be like, maybe I should get in my car. You know what? Maybe I should get in my wife's car, because if she gets the super speeder tickets on the photo radar, she'll think it was her. You're going to start to think maybe I should rent a helicopter. What's at stake here?
Sure.
You think differently. And you guys think I'm crazy here, but whatever your quota is, if you just there's worse things to do with your life. Spend 10 minutes going, would there be a way for me to sell 50 times more than my quota? And if there was, what would that mean? All of a sudden, ideas will come. Some will be crazy. Some will be great. There's worse things. I thought about that with my business. Like, man, I should be on a TV show. I'm now on a TV show on Amazon Prime because I thought, gosh, there's no way I'm going to be able to grow my business to scale without a huge bump. Maybe I should call some production companies and just say, hey, if you need somebody, I'm out here.
That's
Guess
right.
what? They returned my call. I would have never gotten there if I was like, hey, I want to do 105% of what my companies did. I was like, what if I could grow my company by 1,000%? What if I could grow my company by 20,000%?
That's right.
What would I have to do differently? So when we set bigger goals, and you don't have to own a company to set that goal. You can be in automotive sales. You can own your own small business. There's nothing wrong with you just spending a few minutes thinking about, what if I could explode the business? What would it take? If you can do that, set bigger goals, create a clear plan of action, focus 85% of your time on your prospecting, 15% on your follow-up, train every day, one new skill every day. Don't stop to take pictures when you're winning. Set effort-based, not outcome-based expectations of yourself. And then again, set those bigger goals so you come up with new ideas. I'm telling you guys, this will be the last slump. Well, maybe not the last, but we will reduce your slumps by 90+%, and we will reduce your happy months, your happy weeks, your happy days by 10,000, 20,000, 30,000%. Life will get a lot easier for you guys if you follow this process.
I love it. You're spot on with this. Matt Easton, sales coach and founder of Easton University. We're showing the information on the screen here right now. If you want to get a hold of him, this is the guy that's going to get you not just out of the slump, but it's going to get you all the things that you desire in life. It all starts with the right mindset, and he's just the guy to follow for that. So thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to our next session.
Yeah, can't wait to be there too, Jim. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.